Bosch is the series that helped build Amazon streaming. Does that come with any perks?
No.
What?
Although I have a you-know-who right behind me, but I can't say her name or she'll... Alexa.
That's it? Welcome to Couchsurfing, the show where well-off guests look back at their big roles, their little roles, and everything in between. I'm social distancing with Titus Welliver. Titus, how are you holding up?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Where are you exactly?
I'm in my living room in Venice, California. And
nice.
Yeah, got my children at home. They're in school in their rooms, and I'm in school in the living room.
All right. You ready to surf?
I'm ready to surf. I need to get out.
Let's do it.
Why did you say the darkness was our enemy?
That's when they come.
So, Titus, your manager warned you not to do this show, but you did it anyway. What compelled you to ignore that advice?
I thought the show was really good. I thought it was intelligent. I thought the acting was good. The writing was good. And it was sort of right up my straza because I love science fiction. And I was fortunate enough that this role, Doug Spinney, came along and they cast me.
You know, this episode is really well known and it takes place in a remote forest location. Did it feel isolating when you were shooting it?
Yeah, well, they had a deluge of rain that went on and on and on to the point where we had to keep moving back onto the stage to do all the stage work. But there was a lot of exterior work to do on that. And it was up at the water reservoir in Vancouver. And I remember going in there and areas where we were going to shoot were flooded. And so they were bringing dollies and things in on little makeshift pontoons to try to do it. I mean, it was beautiful, but talk about rain. I mean, it was sideways and it just went on for days. But it was fun. Great cast and relationships that I have to this day with Jason and Duchovny.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, you ready to keep surfing?
Sure.
All right.
Do you mind if I drink from the bottle?
So, Titus, every single person we've talked to about Deadwood has called it a career highlight. And you've said the same thing. Why was this show so special to you? Was it David Milch's writing, the cast, the guns?
It was really all of those components. Obviously, first and foremost, Milch's writing. I mean, it was a kind of Irwin Allen all-star cast. And we kind of relished the words that we were given by David, which is always a treat. You know, he's a master wordsmith.
I would imagine that shooting with Sarah Paulson was also a treat.
We knew each other just a little bit prior to shooting. She was good friends with a very close friend of mine, Felicity Huffman. And we just had a lot of fun with that relationship between those two characters. And Milch kind of wrote to it. And it was interesting because the character of Adams, if you consider that's a guy whose relationships to women had probably always been business transactions in a whorehouse, and suddenly he meets a woman and he has actual legitimate feelings of intimacy that are normal. To see him circle the drain was fun stuff to act, and of course it was enhanced by doing it with Paulson because she's great.
All right, let's keep surfing. Up next.
You can't kill me, Jacob.
I broke my toes doing that scene.
Wait, what?
When Mark and I were going through the bamboo jungle, we had these funky sandals, as you can see, and we were moving really fast in one of the takes because we were dancing with the camera with the Steadicam shot, and I just drove my foot into one of these bamboo stumps and busted a bunch of toes.
Wait, so do you call cut when that happens?
No, I kind of muscled through it, and then after they called cut, Pellegrino said, "I heard you grunt. What, did you do something?" And I said, "Yeah, I smashed my..." We looked down and my toes really didn't look good. They were kind of already getting a little black and blue. We soldiered on.
But the one consolation is that you got to play the man in black. You became the smoke monster.
That was a huge gift. As things kind of unfolded, I kept saying to Elizabeth Sarnoff, the writer who I had done Deadwood and Big Apple with, when she would say, "I'll fill you in on some stuff," I kept telling her, "I don't want to know. I don't want to know."
I was going to ask you that. Were you given your character's entire backstory? Did you have to sign an NDA?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I did. You know, you didn't have a script, and everything was so hush hush on my days off when they would just bring the sides for the scenes that I would be shooting the next day, and a PA would come, and you know, I would say, oh, just, you know, hang out in the lobby. It would take an hour, and I would just learn the lines and then hand it back to him, because I was so paranoid, and didn't want the responsibility of having my side slip into the hands of some spoiler person.
Up next.
Gentlemen, your hardware.
You nailed the Irish accent.
I didn't really nail it, to be honest with you. It was, and there's a story behind that, because I got a call from my manager, and he said, "Hey, there's this great role that you've been offered on Sons of Anarchy." And he said, "How's your Irish accent?" And I said, "Well, you know, it's an accent, so yeah, I can pull it together. When do I start shooting?" I'm thinking he's going to tell me doesn't happen for a few weeks, and he said, "Oh, you're on a plane. If you accept this, you're on a plane tomorrow." So I had to kind of just jump in, and would listen to stuff on my phone, called some family and friends back in Ireland, and would say, "How would you say X, Y, and Z?" And I've got a pretty good ear, but it's a very cobbled accent. I mean, even my family, members would say, "Well, I watched the show last night," and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, well, in one scene you were from Donegal, and then the other scene you sounded like you were from Belfast."
Welcome back to Couchsurfing. I'm still here with Titus Welliver. Titus, shall we continue?
Let's continue. I'm still here. Let's surf.
Let's surf.
How you doing? Local crime.
So you campaigned hard to be in this film. Why'd you want to be in it so badly?
Because first of all, I really liked the script, and also that was the follow-up film to Gone Baby Gone, which was Ben's directorial debut. And that role was kind of originally going to be a second banana guy who would kind of show up here and there. So when I say campaigned, I literally I was, my summer home is about 3 hours away from Boston. And I just, I thought, let me just do this. So I drove up to Boston. I walked into the production office, and they were holding auditions there for something else. And I told them, Shay Carter, who was one of the producers, I said, "Don't tell Ben." And she went, "No, I won't tell him." So I snuck in, and the casting director then opened the door, and I walked in, and he started laughing. And I said, "I just drove 3 hours." So he went, you really want to do this?" And I said, "Yeah." And he went, "Okay, all right, I get it."
All right, up next.
I'm coming for
you! All right, from one Boston cat to another. And you get to punch this one in the face.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Any broken toes?
No, but I cracked ribs on that movie.
Are you contractually obligated to hurt yourself during
No.
these shoots? Okay. What was that like, working on a shoot that grand with that big a budget?
That was fun. I've never run and never had such a physically demanding role. I mean, Mark and I would try to do as much of that stuff as we could that was, safe. But we both hate heights. And
really?
Yeah, that rooftop sequence, one point between takes, we were both leaning against the wall, just facing the wall, because neither one of us wanted to turn around and look behind us to see the drop. And we both...
I actually think that's really sweet. I love that.
Yeah, Mark turned to me at one point when we were there, and he went, "Yeah, a couple of real tough guys." I said, "You know what? When it comes to this, I'm not even going to try to front like I don't have an issue with it."
Up next.
Whatever you've got, sovereign POIs, known associates, group hierarchy.
The character of Bosch is such an incredible gift and a massive bit of meat to chew on as an actor. And the writing, and obviously a great ensemble cast. I mean, the show is Bosch, called Bosch, but the characters are really, really rich, and it's a constant gift going to work. It really has always felt like the lottery, like the big lottery win.
Knowing that the end date is fast approaching, that must be bittersweet for you, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, and you know, if it had been a bad experience, then you know, obviously I'd be thrilled. But it's been so positive. It's been such a really great experience that yeah. But I guess all things like that, you know, do come to an end.
Well, Titus, thank you so much for surfing by. You've been fantastic.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and season 6 of Bosch is available now on Amazon Prime Video. And see you guys next week on Couchsurfing. Bye.